OG family. Today we're going to talk about Gemstone Alchemy real quick. So basically, if you go into your forge and you select gemstones, you of course have your treasure hunt, which I've already deployed all my guards for. They added a nice auto deploy feature. Big tip on the treasure hunt itself. Just you can use equivalent or higher. Like if it tells you to use purple, you can, if it only says one purple, that means you only have to do one purple, and then you can do one blue or green of, that type of guard or things like that. So you can really play around with it to manually set it if you're early on in the game and that sort of thing. But the auto deploy feature is pretty nice once you get quite a few guards, because you have enough guards and it just auto deploys them. I just claimed the rewards from the Gemstone treasure hunt, which includes the alchemy dust. So then what I'm going to do is I always wait until I have at least 30 so I can do the practice times 10. So I'm just going to randomly select, and I'm going to tell it to automatically supplement. So it'll just automatically fill into practice times 10. Then I hit practice times 10. And these are the rewards I get. As you can see, at this stage, I'm getting phantom scrolls. You will start out with lower level scrolls, and as you increase your favor by doing the treasure hunt, every time you pop that treasure box and move up a favor level, it moves up the level of the types of scrolls that you're getting from this. So I'm going to do it again because I had enough to do it twice times 10. So it automatically did it again for me. And now I only have 9, so we'll save that for later. But it's pretty simple. You just get scrolls and you get everything else you need to craft the gemstones. So you can see over here that from these, I don't have anything extra sitting on the side, but it gives you sun hearts, it gives you gemstone essence, and it gives you scrolls. Also, if you're going into your gemstones, in general after this to check. So, for instance, right now I could upgrade any of my gemstones. I'm waiting. Let me double check. I think in the event it's actually gemstones right now, but okay, so gemstone collector. So I can go ahead and upgrade a gemstone. So I'm also going to show you how to do that while we're on here. So that was the alchemy, pretty basic. Just save it until you have 30 so you can practice times 10, you get better results. In the Gemstone Armory, as you can see, I'm still short on these Sanctity ones to make 11s. But I would rather do all troop upgrades right now on these precious celestial superior gemstones. So to upgrade a gemstone, you have to have enough, of course, essence, sun hearts. So if I go to upgrade, you can see that it's going to require 24,000 sun hearts, 1.11 billion of the gemstone essence. So I want to increase this one. That'll bring up my overall troop stats almost 50%. So that's always good. And I'm going to go to my other one here. I'm going to upgrade it. And these are focused upgrades. I'm just trying to get some of my overall troop stats up there even higher. That actually plays a lot bigger role a lot of times in battle, that your overall troop stuff. If you'll notice, sometimes once you start getting your stats up, your overall, like your distance stats and cavalry and infantry may be green arrows against an opponent. But if your overall troop stats are red arrows, 90% of the time you're going to lose that fight. If your overall troop stats are lower. So keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and just keep upgrading these right now because those are the stats that I'm trying to boost. So as you can see, my upgrades are done there. I can't upgrade anything else. I'm kind of maxed on these. I don't keep gemstones in my other sets that I just have for random things, except for a few exceptions down here. For my scholar set, I did purchase gemstones that add reductions for iron requirements or wood requirements or food research requirements. or silver research requirement. So that was just a single, I think, $4.99 pack or something that gave me all those stones for the scholars. And then in my building set, I also got these. These cannot be upgraded, as you see, since these are, special ones. And they just help me a lot as far as stats go, or reductions go there when I'm building. So you want to make sure that, you utilize gemstones to your biggest advantage. If you can afford the little packs, those are always good. And of course, all your troop stats should be in your primary equipment that you're wearing. As far as manufacturing gemstones, it's kind of a waste to manufacture extra ones for just things that you're using for gathering or that sort of thing. It's really important just to utilize the battle stat ones in your battle equipment. And be smart about it. So I don't know how much you know about when it comes to crafting these. For instance, when you first start out, you get these little R1, and if you notice, R1 are different. They're separated, where the blue stones are infantry, your pink stones are cavalry, your red stones are distance. If you're early on and brand new in the game, I recommend you primarily focus on distance troops and distance stones. That'll get you more wolf damage when the wolf comes around on Fridays. In general, it'll just take down threats at a higher level. The game is, its creatures, the event creatures and things are most of the time the most vulnerable to distance attacks. So when you're first getting those first gemstones unlocked, just remember, focus on the distance primarily, because when you're a tiny castle like that, it's not like you're out there doing much battle. When you're still at R1 gemstones, you're mostly hunting creatures and things like that at that stage. So just make sure you focus on those. As you move up to R2, you notice all of a sudden all the stats come in to play: cavalry, distance, infantry. And from then on, the gemstones encompass all of them. And you notice these more triangular ones, those are defense stats. The oval ones are health stats. And these are all your attack stats. And then the square ones are, I guess kind of rectangular ones, are the overall troop stats. So gemstones aren't that mysterious. They can be confusing at first, but just focus on, getting your scrolls that you need to get higher and higher level gemstones. Utilize your events to get scrolls. The current events going on are pretty good for that. As far as you can see in the Rose Shop, you can get scrolls for your celestial gemstones. I actually didn't have my advanced celestial. So from this side of the event, I bought out quite a bit of I think, of the advanced celestial. Yeah, right here, the advanced celestial gemstone scrolls. And that let me finally unlock that scroll. It was a long time coming, and there's only 50 and you need 200. So that was my topping off of that. So you definitely want those. If you haven't gotten enough for celestials, there is an easy way to rapidly get enough scrolls for that, and that is to enter the New World. This is huge on gemstones, right? So just for going in, if you manage to only get 500 ore in all of New World, you still get 25 celestial gemstone scrolls, and some stuff for curiosities and to make the gemstones. If you stay in the mines and you manage to jump around and get all of these back to back to back, you can see that that's 50, 70, 80, 90, 100. So just in one New World, you'll get enough celestial scrolls for halfway there. From 0 to 100, it takes 200 to make the stone. So if you just participate in 2 New Worlds, you can, unlock your battle, your attack stats, the one that gives you the attack, or you can do defense or health and whatever you need. But the scrolls that do not have the circle around them, so it's these scrolls, are just for the stones for attack, defense, and health. The stones for all troop stats That comes in this part. These are the advanced gemstone scroll that have this little ribbon that kind of wraps around. Those are your advanced. So that's for your all troop stat. One, the more rectangular stone. So those are some important things as far as gemstones is the best way to collect those. And as you see, even if you rank 500 in New World, you're at least going to get 15. So that's why these take a little longer to get. And, you know, when you're in New World, just try and at very least, just try and get enough marches out to get the 20,000. You can stay bubbled in New World. I can do a whole video on New World later, and you guys can just watch me get all beat up in there because it's ridiculous. The stats that I always end up against, the castles, are just ridiculous. So it's a lot of sneak over, grab a mine while you can. I usually just send 5,000 troops to each mine. Unless I'm around like some players who are just a little smaller than me and I want to make sure they don't send a march over and knock my 5,000 out. I might send a full march in New World, but that's off the topic of the gemstones really, other than the fact that these are the rewards. So I'll have to do a whole new video on New World. I've only played it once in its new format. It just changed the way it's laid out, and some of the things that pop up are different and things like that. There's always some massive, ridiculous monster stat C44 just planted in the center of the map on this new map, taking that level 4 mine. So I'm not even at the point where I can even touch them. A lot of them have high 30k, 40k stats, and mine are mid 20k stats right now. So I just can't really touch the middle of New World, but I can do a video later tonight and you guys can watch me get thrashed in there and have to run around and run for my life and similar things to what you're probably having to do in New World. But it's worth it if you can gather that 20,000 of the gold ore and you can get all your celestial scrolls out of it. So just think about that. That's a really good gemstone source right there. I'm not sure what else to say about gemstones at this point in time. This video I kind of started just with basics, your guard treasure hunt, so you understand as you unlock each favor level here, that you get better treasure hunt task, and then in turn, it slowly, as your favor increases, the types of scrolls that you get out of here are even better. You can potentially get any of these awards that shows you when you click your reward preview, so you can kind of see what level you're at with that. Right now it's at Phantom. I'm way past Phantom, but all the Essence and the Sun Hearts help me out a lot from continuing to do that. Again, your Gemstone Armory, when you first start out, the R1 jewels only give you one type of troop stat. As soon as you move to R2 and above, it unlocks the full cavalry, distance, infantry trio. And these are great because you can overall push up your overall troop stats with that. Look out in the store for gemstones that help you, like I have implanted in my scholar set for research, that have reductions for research requirement, and as well as building. And there are some stones for training that you could buy and stick into your training set. So, you know, you can keep an eye out on that. Usually they're not too pricey. They're like, $4.99 or $9.99. And you can get a whole set, that really helps you out in the long run. So keep an eye out for those things. It can be very important. Your gemstones can add a lot of overall stats in here. So, keep an eye on that and work hard to keep those gemstones up your highest. You see, I upgraded those gemstones on the road to victory. That was one of the tasks here. So I always save it until I get something for doing it. Don't do anything for free, man. You wouldn't work for free. Don't use the products of all your hard work in the game for free. Wait till there's an event that gives you something for doing the task. Don't do the task unless you get something out of it. Right now, today, it's gemstones. So make those gemstones, get those extra resources, stack them up. So anyway, I hope that answered questions about making gemstones. You've just got to have a certain amount of scrolls. It will tell you how many scrolls you need when you get in there. Like for my, right here, this is the only one I haven't unlocked. So you can see I have 79 of 200, and that I would need 1.77 billion gemstone essence just to craft it. Sometimes if you're saving gemstone essence and you're like, oh man, I really want to make this, but I'm just a little short, I have all the scrolls I need to craft it. You can check it out and you can click, you know, what you've got in there. And you can check just real quick on dismantle, and it'll tell you how much it'll give you, like 1.3 billion basically, if I was to dismantle that, which I'm not, because I need it still. But if I was to dismantle, that's what I would get for doing it. And then if I was just that short, then I could go ahead and, you know, have this one unlocked and craft it and just plug it in. So don't forget, once you get really close, check and make sure you do have enough to destroy that gemstone. But if you need to just get a little more essence to make that gemstone that you can now craft, if your other gemstone, taking it out and destroying it, will give you enough, then you can just destroy it and plug the higher one in its place. So that's another tip there. Don't, you know, keep any extra ones like on dismantle right now. Let me go ahead and remove that so I can show you. I also have this one that I won. Somehow it'll give me 800 essence, so I can go ahead and destroy that, tell it to dismantle this refining stone. And then I at least get that. I definitely don't want to dismantle this one, so I'm going to embed it back. I'm trying to think of any other tips. Of course, you can see here what your gemstone score guide is. It shows you what stones you have in there. And it shows, you know, that I could upgrade this one. And then above this is sanctity and, you know, that sort of thing. It shows you what your current score is for that. Record high score, current gemstone score. It just gives you the information about what type of stone each stone I have embedded is, you know, as far as the score guide. The showcase just shows you an overall, so you can actually take a look at these and see if this is maxed. These are the max stats you're going to get out of maxing these out. And then it shows you, you know, each one, like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. The higher you make them, it shows you what your stats would be for that. You know, just kind of gives you an overview of, oh, if I upgrade this by one more level, here's the stats I'm going to get from it, etc., etc. It goes through every layer of gemstones, so you can see what stats they would give you if you did them. I think that's about everything. I am racking my brain about if there's anything else I could teach about gemstones, but I just can't think of anything else I could teach you. If this, you know, helped you, definitely like and subscribe so you see the next videos that come out. I'm trying to do videos on every single topic I can think of that as a new player baffled me, or I saw a lot of people questioning, or that sort of thing, so that everyone can find a video to answer their questions, because I know it can be really hard to find those videos. I need to do one on guards, so I'll have to do that one soon. Guards are complicated. They've added new things, and I really want to talk about the constellations with you guys in a guard video, because I don't want you to mess up before you start up your guards. So just a tip before I do the guard video: leave the constellations alone. If your gold guards are not 6-starred, leave it alone. Don't use the fragments for those constellations until you start out your guard. Okay? Wait till you have 6 stars on your gold guards before you mess with those, you know, wasting your fragments for constellations. Those constellations, save those for later down the road. Okay? And when you start out that guard to all 6 stars, then you can use fragments of that guard you collect to do those constellations. I think that's intended for older players in older kingdoms who have 6-starred out their guards. They have all these fragments left over from events, and now they've given them something to use those for in the constellations on the guards. So I will say that just because I don't want any of you guys brand new using up all your gold guard fragments to make constellations rather than starring up your guards. That's more important. So anyway, that's everything I can think of with gemstones, and a tip on how to save yourself some heartache from wasting your fragments before you're ready to do that on the guard constellations. Leave them alone. All right. And in the meantime, have fun, be fierce, be aggressive. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer them. Have a great day.